Hello. Welcome back to Math Time with Mrs. King. Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to do another math lesson to go with parts. Earlier we did a math lesson about half of the clock and time with halves. This time, however, our math lesson is going to be about this fraction, half, and this fraction, fourth. Halves and fourths. And we have cut lots of things in half. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut these squares in half. Now we can cut them in half several ways. We can go from the top to the bottom. Ooh, that's not very good. I think it's because my square isn't very good. Let me see if I can fix my square. There we go. That's cut in about half. We didn't have a ruler, so I couldn't do it perfectly, but it's in about half. We can cut up and down, or we can cut across. We can also cut at a diagonal. Both of these squares are cut in half. This one's cut in half vertically from top to bottom. This one's cut at a diagonal. So half means one of two parts and one of two parts. This is also one, 2 parts. And this is the other one of 2 parts. So that's 1/2. And we know all about 1/2. But today we need to learn about 1/4. 1 of 4 parts. So I cut this one in half vertically. I'm going to start this one also just about in half vertically. Now I have 2 parts, but I need 4 parts. So I also need those parts to be pretty much equal. In the math world, they would be perfectly equal, but on a bulletin board or a chalkboard or a classroom board, they're not ever going to be equal if we don't have a ruler, and I don't have a ruler, and we're not going to use a ruler. So they're going to be about equal. I'm going to cut them in half from top to bottom, and then I need to cut them in half again to make 4 parts. So I'm going to look for the middle, and I'm going to do my best to cut it in fourths. Now that is not perfect, but it's not the worst I've ever done. So this is half. These are fourths. 1 out of 4. 1 of 4 parts. 1 of 4 parts, and 1 of 4 parts. This square we cut in half at the diagonal. So I'm going to cut this square over here in half at the diagonal again. I'm going to come across. I'm going to try in my very best. Now I've cut it in half, but I want to cut it in fourths, 4 equal parts. So I'm going to go from one corner to the other corner. Are those cut in about 4 equal parts or 1/4? I think they are. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. 1 of 4 parts, 1 of 4 parts, 1 of 4 parts, and 1 of 4 parts. So before we had halves, and now we're going to have fourths. So there are other ways to look at doing this. We don't have to just draw them on the board. We can make them out of paper. I think you're going to maybe want a piece of paper. So right now you could pause the video if you want and get yourself a square piece of paper. All right, I already have my square pieces of paper. I have a blue one and an orange one. I am going to show you how to fold this one in half. I've already done it once because I had to measure the paper to make it into a square and not into a rectangle. So if you look, here is my hole. I already folded it corner to corner to make 2 triangles, which are 2 halves, 1, 2. How do you think I would fold this to make another set of halves, to fold this piece in half? Would I go like this and go from the bottom up? That doesn't seem right. Would I go from the top down? That doesn't seem like it would make equal pieces. I bet I have to go corner to corner again. So watch me fold my triangle in half, corner to corner, to make a smaller triangle. So now I folded it 2 times in half. How many fourths do you think we'll have? You saw it on the board. How many do you think will be there? Let's unfold it and see. Unfold it to my half, and then fold it again. Now, looking at my folded square, how many equal parts do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, 4. Me too. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm even going to label them for you guys so you can see 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. 4 fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Now, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to fold it a different way with this orange piece. Here, it doesn't have any folds in it. It's just a plain square piece of paper. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it hot dog style so that it's kind of long. And in a minute, you can fold yours too. You could pause the video and fold it. All right, now I have my square in 1, 2 halves. How will I fold it to make fourths and make sure they're all equal and the same size? Let's see again. If we fold down, is that right? Nope. Just like the triangle, that does not look right. We could fold it this way. I wonder if that would make fourths. I bet it would. Or we can fold it this way. I'm not sure which way's the best, but for now, just for fun, I think I'm going to fold it hot dog style and see if these are fourths that are all even too. I don't know. Long, skinny fourths? Is that a thing? I bet it is. Let's unfold. Here's my half. Here's my square folded into long, skinny fourths. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to write the fourths on it again so y'all can see. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Oops. So look here. We made skinny fourths. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. You can fold things, other things, into fourths too. It doesn't just have to be squares. You can do it like a square and have the 4 perfect squares. You could do rectangles, you could do triangles. Look at this shape. It kind of looks like it might be like a ice cream cone shape if you rolled it up. So I wonder what would happen. I've already folded it into fourths. I wonder what's going to happen when I unfold it. I wonder what it's going to look like. Let's see. So I have my fourth, folded it. Now here's just a half. And then fold it to show you the whole. Ready? What shape do you think it's going to be? What? Circle! It's a circle. Cut into fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourths. I folded it in half and in half again so that I had 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. All 4 fourths would make a whole. So let's look at that. I have a clipboard here and it's got some things, little blue sticky notes on it. And we're going to look at one more way to see fourths. We know half is 2 And fourths with the fraction tells us that there's 4 pieces. So let's start. Here we have a whole. You have a worksheet like this in your packet today, and you're going to do this. You're going to color it. You're going to color the first one, all one color, as a whole. Then, on the second one, you're going to divide it in half, as closely as you can down the middle, and color one side red, or whatever color you choose, and the other side a different color. And you're going to write half and half. This is a whole, this is 2 halves. Now, the next step is a little tricky. We're going to only cut one of the halves in fourths so that you can see what it would look like. Here's a half, and this half, when you cut it, makes 1/4 and a 1/4. So then we have whole, halves, and the fourths that are part of a whole. But then let's look at the very last one. There we have all 4 quarters, fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. These are all the ways that you can cut things into half and fourths. You have the 2/4 that make up the half, and then you have the whole. You have the 4/4 that also make up the whole, and then you have the 2 halves that, when you put them together, make up a whole. So a whole cut in half makes 2 parts. A whole cut in fourths makes 4 parts, like a sandwich. You could cut your sandwich into triangles or squares. Let's see. If we had a sandwich, we'll pretend like that's a good piece of bread, even though it's not very good. And you wanted to share it with 4 people, you could cut it in half and in half again. Or if you had a sandwich and you wanted to share it with 4 people and you wanted triangles, you could cut it this way and this way for 1, 2, 3 fourths. Or if you were feeling extra tricky, you could do like I did earlier, and you could cut it in half, and then you could cut long ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4. 1 part of 4. 1 part of 4. 1 part of 4. 1 part of 4. 1/4. All right, boys and girls, I want you to take time to fold some paper into fourths as best as you can. Maybe cut your lunch or your dinner, if you have a sandwich, in fourths. You could cut a brownie into fourths. You could cut a cookie into fourths. If you were really careful and your mommy helped you, you could even cut something like a grape into fourths, or a strawberry, or an apple. Any of those things can be cut into fourths. So maybe you can practice that today. Maybe you can practice cutting fruits and sandwiches into fourths. Fold your paper into fourths. Color your sheet like I did. 1 whole, 2 halves, half and some fourths, and then 4/4. How many ways can you make a fourth today? I bet you can figure it out. Have a good rest of the day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, babes.